Hi everyone, my name is Bridget and welcome to my channel. So today God wanted me to come on and speak about seeking His language within. But before I begin with my video, I'd just like to clarify that I do not believe in religion. I believe in God and Jesus Christ, and I believe Jesus Christ came to show us a way, a different way, leading us to peace and abundance for all. So let me begin. There is a language within. God has been speaking since the beginning, not written on tablets of stone, not carried only by prophets, but encoded within you, your emotions. We were taught to fear them, to suppress them, to label them too much, too weak, too unstable. But what if I told you your emotions are not your enemy? They are one of your senses. Just like sight reveals light and hearing reveals sound, your emotions reveal the unseen. The word says in Proverbs 20, verse 27, "The spirit of man is the candle of the Lord, searching all the inward parts." That means God doesn't just speak to you, He illuminates through you. A stirring in your chest, a weight you cannot explain, a peace that makes no logical sense. That is not random, that is God, whispering through your design. When something feels off, that's not anxiety, that's discernment knocking. When you feel deep compassion, that's heaven inviting you to move. When peace floods your being in chaos, that is the fingerprint of God. Because in John 14 verse 27, Jesus said, "My peace I give you, not as the world gives." So if it doesn't come from the world, it must come from another realm. But here is where the war begins, because what God designed as a compass, the enemy learned to distort into confusion. Satan does not need to create new weapons. He only needs to corrupt what already works. And so he studied your emotions. He learned if he cannot silence God's voice, he will mimic it. He will turn conviction into shame, discernment into paranoia, passion into obsession, and love into attachment. And suddenly, you don't trust what you feel. The very channel God uses to guide you becomes the place you fear the most. The word says in Corinthians 11 verse 14, "Even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light." So not every feeling that feels uncomfortable is wrong, because God will convict you, but He will not condemn you. That's the difference. Conviction says, "Come higher." Condemnation says, "You'll never be enough." Conviction brings clarity. Condemnation brings chaos. And the enemy thrives in emotional chaos. That's why 1 Peter 5 verse 8 says, "Be sober and vigilant," not just in your thoughts, but in your feelings. Because your emotions are spiritual signals, but they must be discerned. Test them, weigh them, bring them into alignment with truth. As it is written in 1 John 4 verse 1, "Do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits, even the ones that feel like you, because not everything you feel is you." Some emotions are wounds speaking, some emotions are wounds speaking, some are fear echoing. Some are lies rehearsed. so many times they feel like truth. But God's voice, even when it corrects you, will always carry light, clarity, peace, and direction. Because God is not the author of confusion, as it says in 1 Corinthians 14, verse 33. So today, you don't need to shut down your emotions. You need to sanctify them. Let God recalibrate your inner world. So your fear becomes awareness. Your anger becomes justice. Your sadness becomes depth. Your joy becomes strength. Because when your emotions come back into alignment, you don't just feel, you discern. You hear and you know. And suddenly the voice you were searching for in the sky was speaking with you all along. So, as you can see, our emotions is another sense. It's a seventh sense. We have more than 6 senses like smell, taste, touch. Your emotions is another sense. And this knowledge has been withheld from humanity, I am bringing it to light again so that people can learn that God is speaking to you all the time through your emotions. And Satan has studied our psychology specifically regarding our emotions, and that is why we have to surrender our will to God. Because when we surrender our will to God, we come under His protection, that we can have discernment in what is Satan's voice and what is God's voice. But you have to do the work to navigate your emotions, learn what they are telling you. And now, if you're depressed or have anxiety, you go to your psychologist or psychiatrist to get medication. And I'm not telling you to leave the medication. I'm just telling you that you are masking the very compass that God gave you. And you cannot get out of that, your own personal hell, if you are just masking it with medication. There is no fear in going to look at these emotions. They are just feelings. You make the feeling real or unreal. So it's very important for you to do the work to navigate your emotions, as I just said, to see what is you and what is Satan telling you a lie about who you are, that you are not enough. You are so worthy. Just the fact that you are on this planet experiencing life here at this time, you cannot understand how worthy you are. But God wants you to reach to Him and choose Him. So I hope my message helped today. Sending so much love, and God bless.